Imagine a criminal flush with cash from something dodgy, drug dealing maybe. They can't just waltz into a bank, right? That's where money laundering comes in. It's the art of disguising dirty money, making it look clean. Like polishing grubby shoes, it gives illegal loot a legitimate sheen. It's a three-step process like a washing machine cycle. First, they place the illegal money into the financial system. This is often done, for instance, by breaking up large amounts of cash into less conspicuous, smaller sums to deposit directly into a bank account. Other methods include false invoicing, hiding the identity of the beneficiary through trusts and offshore companies, and much more. Then comes the layering. This is when the launderer moves the money through a series of financial transactions to make it difficult to trace the original source. In some instances, the launderer could disguise the transfers as payments for goods or services, or as a private loan to another company, giving them a legitimate appearance. Layering is the most common entry point for crypto, as criminals use it alongside the traditional financial system to disguise the origins of their funds. The money is basically moved around like a hot potato. By the final stage, integration, the money is clean, ready to be used. This is when the launderer attempts to integrate illicitly obtained funds into the legitimate financial system. To use the funds to buy goods and services without attracting attention from law enforcement or the tax authorities, the criminal may invest in real estate, luxury assets, or business ventures. Money laundering fuels corruption and funds terrorism. Next, we'll delve into the murky history of this global problem. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Money laundering isn't new. It's been around for centuries, lurking in the shadows. Think back to the Prohibition era in the US. Bootleggers, flush with cash from illegal booze, needed a way to clean their profits. Enter Al Capone, a man who knew a thing or two about dirty money. He used laundromats as fronts, blending his ill-gotten gains with legitimate income. Hence the term money laundering was born. But money laundering isn't just a relic of the past. It's evolved, becoming more sophisticated. From the Medellin Cartel's complex financial web to the Panama Papers scandal, criminals are finding new ways to hide their loot. Today, technology provides even more opportunities. Cryptocurrencies, with their anonymity, have become a playground for money launderers. It's a cat-and-mouse game, with authorities constantly playing catch-up. Money laundering thrives wherever there are weak spots, like cracks in a pavement. Countries with lax financial regulations are particularly vulnerable. They become magnets for dirty money, attracting criminals like moths to a flame. Tax havens, with their strict secrecy laws, are prime examples. These countries, and many sunny islands that seem idyllic, often serve as safe havens for hidden wealth. Think Cayman Islands, Switzerland, or Luxembourg. But it's not just small island nations. Developing countries grappling with corruption and weak governance also face significant challenges. They often lack the resources and expertise to combat sophisticated financial criminals. This global problem demands a global response. International cooperation is key to closing the net on money launderers and creating a level playing field. Shocking numbers, hidden costs, money laundering by the numbers. It's hard to pin down exactly how much money gets laundered globally. It's like trying to measure the ocean one drop at a time. But experts estimate it to be a staggering amount, somewhere between 2% to 5% of global GDP. That's trillions of dollars. Imagine a stack of $100 bills. Now imagine that stack reaching the International Space Station, twice. That's the scale of the problem we're dealing with. These aren't just abstract figures. Money laundering has real-world consequences. It robs governments of much-needed tax revenue, money that could be used for schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. And it's not just the financial cost. Money laundering fuels organized crime, terrorism, and human trafficking. It undermines the rule of law and erodes trust in our institutions. The ripple effect, how money laundering touches us all. You might think, money laundering, that's a problem for governments and banks, not me. But the truth is, it affects us all. Remember that laundromat owner who's actually a front for a drug cartel? Their business might be driving up property prices in your neighborhood or that fancy new construction project down the street. It could be funded by dirty money. Money laundering distorts the global economy. It gives criminals an unfair advantage, manipulating markets. This can lead to higher prices and fewer jobs. But there is hope. Governments are enacting tougher laws and strengthening defences. Fighting back governments versus financial criminals. The fight against money laundering is a bit like a game of chess. Governments and law enforcement agencies are constantly trying to outmaneuver criminals who are always looking for new ways to hide their tracks. One of the key weapons in this fight is the Know Your Customer (KYC) rule. It requires banks and financial institutions to verify the identities of their customers and monitor their transactions for suspicious activity. Another important tool is the Financial Action Task Force on Money Laundering (FATF). It's an intergovernmental organization that sets global standards for combating money laundering and terrorist financing. But the battle is far from over. It requires constant vigilance, international cooperation, and a commitment to closing loopholes that criminals exploit. It's a fight we can't afford to lose. If you found this video informative, please subscribe, like, and share to help spread awareness.